Hey guys, I'm actually doing this voiceover with my cat Peggy, one of my two cats. I have Peggy and Ferris. So if you hear some meows and purrs and whatever, that's just Peg. So this is a leg workout from a while back. Yes, I deadlift on leg days. I'm a power lifter. It's a hip dominant movement. It's a lower body movement. It's your posterior chain. So I deadlift on leg days. So started out with not all my warm-ups I showed you here, but got into some of the warm-ups and worked up to a pretty decent weight. This is in kilos, so I'd have to do the math for you real quick. The reds are 25, the blues are 20s. You seen a green on there earlier, that's a 10. Then I did some back down sets. This was a good day. I have been dealing with issue with my IT bands just being really tight. If you followed me for any amount of time, you would know I talk about it all the time. I always use it for an excuse and whine and moan, but I have this ongoing issue with my hip from an accident I had way back many years ago, like over 20 years ago. So I think that was acting up and it's been affecting like this thing with my IT bands. So I was happy it doesn't seem to be so much of an issue anymore on deadlifts, but the squats, it was still a bit of trouble at this time. So I'm just getting back into the squats here with some light sets after the deads of 315 for pauses. I think it was 3 sets of 3. So what I do on my leg days, I have like 2 lower body days a week right now. One day I start with, it's primarily a deadlift day and then a squat variation. The other day it's a heavier squat day. Squats would be first, and then a deadlift variation. So this was the deadlift day. Worked up to some decently heavy deads. They were like decently heavy for coming back from that issue, and then pause squats were my variation. I like to keep my variations pretty close to the actual movement. I don't get too carried away. I'm really not very athletic. I need to practice the actual lifts a lot, so it doesn't benefit me if my variations get too crazy. I need to keep it specific. Then we went on to leg curls. This is my last set of leg curls. I really like to hit the leg curls like John Meadows style, if you guys remember John Meadows, with like drop sets, partials, really taking the last set beyond failure. What I'd really like to do, I did for many years when I had the equipment in my garage gym, was lead my lower body workouts with leg curls. That's another thing I got from John Meadows. I followed him for years, and I don't know the science behind it or anything like that, but just your squats, everything feels so much better once you got a good hamstring pump. But the reason I don't is basically I walk into a busy gym and I see that the squat rack is free or the deadlift platform is free, and I rush to it. Then I went on to some hack squats. So what I'm doing here and what I really like to do is I'm kind of going from a hamstring dominant movement to a quad movement to back to hamstrings. So I had the deadlifts, which is more hamstring, then the squats, which is more quad, then the leg curl, back to hamstrings, then the hack squats. Now these are really light. At this point, I hadn't done these in years. I've just switched to my more bodybuilding type of split where I'm actually having a leg day and it's not just more powerlifting focus where I'm training the power lifts multiple times a week. So hack squats are killer. This is really light. I'm going to work up to being respectably strong on these over the next few weeks. But yeah, everybody loves to load up on the leg press, not knocking the leg press. It's good. It has its place. But if your gym has a good like 90s style hack squat, get on that thing. It will tear your quads up. Some people do find it harder on the knees, so I like to use it later in the workout. I wouldn't lead with a heavy hack squat, but once you're good and warmed up, you got a lot of blood in your legs, you're already a little fatigued, so the weight won't be as heavy. Get on that hack squat and push it. It will blow your quads up. Then went on to leg extensions. This is another quad dominant movement, but we were kind of done with hamstrings. Did a lot of hamstring stuff earlier in the week. This was the second leg day, so that was it for hamstrings. Sometimes I would include a 45-degree back raise before I would do the quad exercise, the leg extensions. I actually use that as a glute-focused exercise. I find it blows my glutes up. The gym I'm now training at actually has a hip thrust machine. I don't like hip thrusts for powerlifting. I don't find it carries over to the squats and deadlifts, but I may get on that thing in the future just to work with glutes. Everybody can use some more glutes, right? So then just like the leg curls, I really pushed the leg extensions here. Tried to take it past failure. My quads were pumped. It was hard like walking out of this machine. It was a lot of fun. Push yourself, challenge yourself. Take some of these sets, past failure, really work them. You don't want to do this on like your squats, your deadlifts, that sort of thing. But these type of movements, like single joint movements like leg curl, leg extension, you're locked into a machine. Even on a hack squat, you know, the risk for injury is very low. You're not going to be using huge poundages. You're using the machine, so you don't have to worry about getting out of groove and something getting a little hairy. So these sets you can push, and it's not going to affect your recovery that much overall. Like the systematic fatigue on your whole body from taking a leg extension or a leg curl past failure isn't going to wear you out all week like squats or deadlifts or something like that. If it happens to do that, then you're probably out of shape and you just need to get in better shape. And if you haven't done that sort of thing ever before or in a while, you could build up to it. Just do it like for one set per workout starting out and gradually push it harder and harder. Then we just finished with some abs. Abs are boring, but I want a six pack. I'm trying to do them every day. That was it. Peace.